What's going on, everybody? It's Cupid, back with another video with a ridiculous, silly gimmick deck featuring the Skull Servant archetype. Well, what do we have here? It's Skull Servant, Tearlaments, Ishizu, again, Cupid, and you're the Dangers. This looks like the exact same deck. Did you even change anything from the last ban list? Yes, I have. This is now an FTK deck. How? Well, ideally I'm going to show you. So, the idea here is pretty simple. Just be a good player at the game. And beyond that, you know, everything will be fine. So, this hand is not exactly what I would call a good example, because, you know, I drew 2 copies of Grass, which is, by default, going to be full combo for us. So, sorry, this isn't exactly the best example, but, the idea here is pretty simple. Since, you know, the amount of Ishizu cards we can play has been drastically reduced, we make up for that by putting in good cards. What good cards did we put in? You're probably thinking. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you very, very quickly. These cards, provided I mill them, yeah, you saw one there, are Catapult Turtle and Necro World Banshee, as well as Zombie World. Now, you're probably thinking, Cupid, why? Why? What? How does this work? What is the combo? And you're a fool. Like, why have you done this? This last one was a misplay. I should not have done that. I should not have used the Sheeran there. I think I had to shuffle my own Sheeran back because I messed up. Whoops. Put back the Sheeran because I don't want to activate that. Grass. Very funny. And Foolish Bear. Actually, let's put Nemesis Corridor back. We need him in the deck. Well, I kind of blundered there, but it's okay. I needed to put the Corridor back anyway. Alright, our Banshee is still active, which is very, very good news for us. There's no monster. Yep. And I did not mill the other copy of... Zombie World, it looks like, which is extremely good for us. And this is going to be full combo. What is full combo, you're probably asking? Well, for one, full combo is get a bunch of Skull Servants in our graveyard with a Catapult Turtle, as well as 2 Mizukis. So what have we accomplished so far? We have one Mizuki and a Catapult Turtle, as well as a Banshee. Banshee is going to create the Zombie World field spell, which causes all of my, I'm gonna activate this while I have one more card than my opponent. Very cool. So it causes all of my graveyard to become zombies, which means Mizuki can now summon back our Catapult Turtle from the graveyard. Now, for obvious reasons, Mizuki summoning the Catapult Turtle back from the graveyard is pretty dangerous for everyone involved that isn't us. Now we will chain Banshee to get our Zombie World out of the deck, just in case we don't hit a Shuffler, and also so we get better mills. Go ahead and activate that. Alright, we hit Baking, and we hit, I suppose we'll Merle, why not? Unfortunately, we have made the mistake of putting our good card back in the graveyard, which is okay. It's not good, though, like I said. We don't want to put that there. So we're going to go ahead and Mizuki at this point. We're going to summon back our Catapult Turtle, because, you know, we like to FTK our opponent. And, well, by golly, we haven't accomplished that. Why haven't we accomplished that? Because all of our King of the Skull Servants are in the deck. Or in the graveyard, I should say. Now, how do I get those back, you're probably wondering? I don't. Because I had to discard my Kelbeck. Or, I had to ditch my Keldo because I messed up. But I haven't normal summoned, coincidentally, and look what I drew. It's Unizombie. So, the combo continues, everybody. Worry not, my friends. The combo continues. Hooray, what a joyous day this is. Let's put Rolk in the graveyard. Alright, so we're gonna zombie vampire. We need to get more cards in our graveyard. This is fantastic. And we're going to do that exact thing. I would love to see what I milled, but... Ah, another catapult turtle. Sure. Why not? Yeah, let's get another catapult turtle. Did you know catapult turtle's effect is a soft once per turn, and not a hard once per turn? Alright, now we're going to Unizombie, send a card from my deck, target the Merly. We're gonna go ahead, send that last Mizuki, because we really need him at this point. And, yeah, I guess we'll use him again, target the other catapult turtle, the one that will stay on the field, and just discard Kelback, sure. Now, let's go ahead, Mizuki one time for a funny haha King of the Skull Servants. And at this point, you saw how few zombies are actually still left in the deck. And Catapult Turtle is going to burn for 9,500 damage. My bad. 8,500 damage. And, yeah, that is the idea. That is the general idea of a Skull Servant FTK deck. Now, let me show you the deck list as, you know, I can't really explain it. The combo is very non-linear, and it's also very mill dependent. But, as you guys just saw, this deck heavily relies on its mills, and also its draws. And not only that, you can get to the FTK without grass. I would love to have showed you there, but here's the thing with that. Add grass. I figured I'd use it. So, yeah, here's the deck list. The deck list is your standard 2 copies of Skull Servant and Lady in White. These are the bricks. You gotta play 2 of them because you need 2 of them. And, you know, 3 is probably still playable with this deck list. 3 King, you want to keep him in your deck. He's your win condition. You tribute him, burn your opponent for big damage. White Mare, more valuable than ever, especially now with how the deck plays, because you want to have those Skull Servants back in your graveyard, and you want to also resummon those ladies in white for your Leviair and stuff, which I will get to later. White Prince, obviously 3. White Baking, best card in the deck, obviously 3. 2 Merly, you know, max tier ratios, except for Rhino Heart, and you play 1 Scream and 1 Soliak. These 2 can actually brick your hand, and you don't want to brick your hand when you're trying to FTK your opponent. So, you know, you only play 1 of each. Max copies of Unizombie, meaning 3 Solitaire, 3 Unizombie, best card. This card typically gets the FTK done by itself, just based off of the milling off of Ruler, but sometimes you just have bad mills. White Princess, 3 copies. White Princess is your hand trap that stops you from dying if they make you go first, and somehow you don't FTK. And it also is really good for going second. It softens up the big boards that your opponent makes, attack-wise, and then sometimes you can just make a really big King of the Skull Servants and attack for game. 2 Havness, 2 Sheeran, let's be honest. If you can play these cards at 2, you should play these cards at 2. 1 Rhino Heart, only 1 because we needed to make room for our Danger Engine, because the Danger Engine adds a lot of consistency to the combo here. Triple Mizuki, obviously, this is your win condition. You need to have 3 Mizukis. If you have anything less than 3 Mizukis in this deck, you're wrong. 3 Banshee, you need to mill it to actually pull off the Skull Servant FTK combo. So since you need to mill it, you play 3 copies. 1 Corridor, if you don't get the combo, this still makes the standard Skull Servant end board of, you know, Colossus, Hot RDA, and then if you hit any tier cards off of your Ruler mill, you can also tier combo. So you still play the 1 Corridor at the very least. Your Ishizu cards, max out each of those. Bonus mills for free are always nice. And the shuffles, occasionally fixing your bad mills is really good too. It's very unfortunate that they were hit, but you still play them. They are still really good when you hit them. 3 Catapult Turtles. You have no way of searching this card, so you have to mill it yourself. So that's why you play 3. 2 Nessie, 1 Thunderbird. You don't play more dangers than this because, you know, it doesn't really matter. Thunderbird can be replaced with Bigfoot, but I did not want to spend the UR crafting materials for Bigfoot. The reason you play 2 Nessie is because of deck space, smile. Yeah. Card destruction, fix your hand, discard your hand, draw a new hand, is solid when you're, trying to get to your combo pieces. Plus, you want to have all your combo pieces in the graveyard anyway. Foolish sends any card in your deck to the graveyard. Why would you not play this card? 1-for-1, kind of iffy, maybe not needed, but, getting guaranteed white baking is always really good in this deck. Grass, you're playing 60, and you're playing a graveyard combo FTK. This card is most of the time, I want to say even upwards of 99% of the time, 1 card FTK if it resolves. So obviously you're going to play grass. Your 2 copies of Zombie World, 1 isn't enough because if you mill it and somehow you don't have a way of getting it back, as you only have 2 shufflers now, yeah, you need to have 2 for that exact situation. Tier field spell, probably not needed anymore. I don't think it's that necessary, but searching Sheeran is very, very good, because sometimes Sheeran by itself, getting the discard and the mill 3, that leads to full combo as far as the FTK is concerned. It very much can do it by itself, depending on your mills, obviously. It could also do absolutely nothing. And there's not really a way of telling. Tearlament Scream, it's still very, very good. For if you, aren't quite getting the FTK, it gives you bonus mills if you draw it. If you mill it when you're not getting the FTK, you still get to end on your Celiac, which is very strong. Now, the main differences of this deck between now and 2 months ago when I made the actual Tier 0 Skull Servant deck list, the main differences here is the extra deck. We no longer play the Dragostapelia, as, we're not trying to make a board, we're trying to kill our opponent. But we can still make a board in case we don't kill our opponent. So now our fusions are only the essentials for our combo, literally only the essentials. Kit Kalos, Colossus, and one of Kaleido and Rolk. You have your Synchro combo without the Baron anymore, in favor of Levianeer, because we do need the Levianeer. So we have our Cupid pitch still, search Nemesis Corridor, make Colossus, haha, very funny. Ruler, mill 5, this is mill deck, you want mill. Hot RDA, you make it as a negate at the end of your combo. Why wouldn't you want an additional negate? Levier, this is the best extender in the deck, because you make a rank 3, and then you summon back your Mizuki. And guess what? Summoning back Mizuki is really good to reload your Catapult Turtle. Dante is there for mills. He's probably the least used card in this extra deck. He's there for extra mills if you absolutely need them. Minerva is really good with the tier stuff because you're often able to make a rank 4 with the tier stuff now, and it mills 3 more, which lets you get to your combo a lot more often. Zombie Vampire, yeah, he's still here. And only the absolutely needed extra deck stuff. We don't play the Goddess anymore. We have the Link Karibo, the IP, and Unicorn and Oppo are the last 2 slots of our extra deck. So, yeah, the idea is if you can get the FTK, by all means, go for it. It's better to have an FTK than give your opponents a chance to Dark Ruler no more you. But if you don't get the FTK, you can still end on Rolk, Kaleido, 4 negates, Oppo, Colossus, and sometimes Hot RDA. So, as you guys can see, after the ban list's hitting of the Ishizu cards, this deck still survives just fine. In fact, if anything, it just gave me more incentive to be demonic with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the King's Gambit Skull Servant FTK deck list, and I will see you guys for the next video. Later.